Greetings to everyone. I welcome you for IABS IAS Academy Current Affairs channel IABS IAS News Bureau. Today we are going to discuss about The Hindu news analysis dated on 28th August 2020, and we are going to discuss about the foremost article which is related to government's direction to bridge the gap that has been laid due to that GST pending amount that is to be released from central government to state government. Here they had provided two different options to all the state governments to allocate to arrange the fund which is required to compensate that amount that is need to be released from central government to state government as a compensation measure. Here, first let me look into the thing, what are all the things which is given in the article. Here, Center on State on Thursday acknowledged that states are likely to face GST revenue gap of 3 lakh crore this year as an economy has been locked down in the name of COVID-19 pandemic. The compensation cess collection are only expected to bridge 22% of the overall gap. That is, out of 3 lakh crore rupee, only 22% is going to be can be bridged using this cess collection. Of the remaining 2.35 lakh crore, center said only 97,000 crore was due to GST implementation. That is, whatever be the fund which is been lost for the state government on imposition of GST needs to be provided as a compensation from central government to state government. This is the initial thought when we imposed GST on all the products. Because this imposition of GST reduced the revenue generation of state government. Central government, on behalf of this, they had provided two different options. This out of these two options, any one option need to be decided by the state government. And foremost option is a kind of special window that is provided in consultation with RBI. State government can get 97,000 crores at a reasonable rate of interest. This amount can be repaid after 5 years through the collection of cess. Here, the rate of interest will be very reasonable. State government can decide this option, or else they can get another option is entire gap of 2.35 lakh crore can be met by borrowing by the state government. Here also the RBI will arrange same thing, but here the rate of interest will be higher. Apart from that, what are all the things that we need to look into this particular article? Here, FRBM Act of 2003 also come into picture, which means 0.5% relaxation in the borrowing limit under FRBM Act is going to be applicable in this case. Here, the state government said the law guaranteed state compensation for any sort of loss of revenue in first 5 year of GST implementation until 2022, as I already said, using the cess levied on sin and luxury goods. But due to the slowdown on pandemic, the GST and cess collection was down for the last year, and it is resulting in 40 percentage gap between the compensation paid and the cess collection. Here, central government also estimated that state GST revenue gap in 2021 will amount to about 3 lakh crore, while the cess collections were about only to projected just 65,000 crores, leaving the shortfall of 2.35 lakh crore. To regain that 2.35 lakh crore alone, government has provided just two window where central state government can able to raise the fund for the daily based activity. And the next one is related to government. The Supreme Court refuses to pass direction to allow Moharram procession. Why it is in the news? First one, Supreme Court has given direction in terms of running the annual riot chariot procession of Jagannath Puri in Odisha, where Supreme Court said that the procession started in a particular place and it ended in a particular place where we can easily able to assess the loss or assess the persons who are affected by COVID by using the point to point contact system. But same way, government also allowed an order on August 21st to open Jain temple to worship in a prayer day on by allowing at only 5 persons at a time and limiting only 250 persons for a day. These are all the two things that we need to keep in mind before looking into this article. Here, why government is not allowing or Supreme Court is not ready to pass direction on allowing the Muharram procession, because Muharram procession is not limited to a particular area. All the Muslim followers, Islamic followers, they'll be doing this Muharram procession throughout the country. If central government or Supreme Court is passing a direction to allow the Muharram procession, it may lead to a saying that a particular group of community is the only reason for high spread of COVID. Supreme Court is not ready to pass such a kind of scolding or such a kind of bad reputation to any particular community by giving a direction to allow Muharram procession by this month end. They are going to celebrate Muharram by this month end, but government as well as Supreme Court is not ready to give any directions to allow the Muharram procession. As we already know, Ramjan has already been not celebrated as per their customs, because all the mosques were already been completely closed during the lockdown situation. This is not the thing only happened to Islamic community. Same thing happened for all religious community, including Hindu, Sikhs, and Buddhism, Jainism people. After the relaxation, they are allowing persons to do their worship with some kind of standard operating protocols. Next article is related to Supreme Court judgment on giving reservation to the lowermost rung of SC and ST. First, before getting into this particular article, what is SC and what is ST? The castes which are considered to be who are deprived of economic facility or political justice, and in terms of attaining education, few castes are considered as just a few set of castes are considered as the scheduled caste by article 341 by president, and the scheduled caste will be keep on varying from state to state, because one particular caste which is considered to be scheduled caste in one state need not to be a SC in another state, because scheduled caste are the castes which are being considered as a group of castes which are deprived of economic, political, and educational and political social deprivation historically are called as scheduled castes. And who are all ST? STs are a group of people who are residing, and they are having an homogeneous set of group who are residing along the forest corridor, and they are also deprived of socially and economically, educationally backwarded community. Now, what is in this particular case? Here, the government is saying that we cannot bring out any particular caste from this SC or ST out of that particular domain, which means not even a single caste will be thrown out of SC as it has been already declared by presidential list presidential presidential notification under article 341 under and article 342. But here, what is they are going to say that they are not going to list out, or they are not going to remove any particular caste from the list. Second thing, whoever be the caste who are considered to be lowest among the lowest in that particular SC group or ST group needs to be provided a boost to make them uplifted in all the domains, especially in terms of economically, educationally, and political domain, on par to other category people, is the need of the hour. Here, state cannot deprive the power to take care of the qualitative and quantitative difference between classes to take an ameliorative measure. That was the decision or the judgment which is given by Supreme Court. Apart from that, they have already quoted one more judgment already being conducted against Chinnaya case versus our state of Andhra Pradesh in 2005. Five-member panel also insisted the same thing. That is, states to unilaterally make a class member of the scheduled caste, which means these systems were made only to make a group of category as a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe as per their regional development. Because, for example, if you say that some X group is classified as a C in one particular state, that particular same is caste need not to come under AC in some other state, as I already said. Here, who are considered to be SC or ST? SC or ST can come under only four religion as per this Article 341 and 342, namely Hindu, Buddhism, Sikhism, and not Jainism, not Christians. These three category are only considered to be SC and ST. Only these three category of people can able to claim the reservation which is provided by central government under reservation scheme. That is the end of this particular article. And now we can move on to the next article. Next article is related to the action taken by DGCA, that is Directorate General of Civil Aviation, which is giving a draft policy to utilize Wi-Fi connection which is provided by the aircraft carrier alone after attaining the height of 3000 feet or above. How it is going to work? It is going to work in two different ways. Either getting the transmission from ground tower or getting the internet transmission from the satellite. Aircraft will be providing the Wi-Fi support to the person who can able to use Wi-Fi in their portable device. Here, as we already know, when we are traveling in a flight, mobile phone, tablets, and laptops all to be kept in a flight mode. All the electronic gadgets. Here, after that, cabin crew or a captain of the flight, if allowing the person to use Wi-Fi, they can use it. If they found that the person is not following the rules, which is rules and regulation or a protocol which is provided by the captain, any violations of such requirement during the flight should be brought to the notice of commander by the cabin crew, and the case can be recorded of the particular person for defaulting the rules set by the government. This is related to Wi-Fi rules, which is drafted by DGCA, that is Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Apart from that, the next news that we need to look into is government plan to sell 50% stake in HAL. Why government is selling it? First, the problem with our present situation is government is earning money by disinvestment processes. For disinvestment processes, Union government has already published and separate offer, that is an offer for sale of 15% of the shares in Bangalore based defense aerospace firm, that is HAL. The overall market capitalization of HAL is 35,000 crores. But government now plan to sell 15% of the stake to earn 5,000 crores through the disinvestment process. Here, we need to keep in mind why government is keep on disinvesting lot many PSUs. As we already look into the structural reform that is required in the governmental system, as a fiscal council policy or MPC, that is monetary policy council committee report, government need to earn some huge amount of money to tackle the COVID situation. That is the thing which is required with respect to this particular situation. Apart from that, government is government are already provided FDA to lot many PSUs. So government is going to hold the key sector with the key stake ownership in PSUs. Remaining thing is going to be privatized or it is going to be disinvested as per the government draft plan. And the last article that we are going to discuss on today's news is five members in Great Andaman founded positive cases, including one woman. Here, when we look into this particular case in main page, you may ask about it why government is providing or government is looking into a group of tribal people who is not at all required for the development of the country. We can't say like that. There is an under Ministry of Home Affairs, a special committee, so a special department is there or special sub-ministry is there who is taking care of tribal affairs. Under tribal affairs, government has made 75 different tribal group as particularly vulnerable tribal group of India. There are 75 such tribal group. They are spread across 15 different states. Out of those, maximum population of the scheduled PVTG, that is particularly vulnerable tribal groups, are located in Odisha, next to that Andhra, then Bihar. These three states are having huge amount of PVTGs. Who are all called as PVTGs? These people are economically backward. They know only agriculture. They are completely illiterate. They don't know, they don't have a proper communicational language system. They had, but it is known only to the set of group of tribal people alone, and they are indigenous and they are isolated from the entire civilized group. Here, this PVTG are located in 75 different group. This particular PVTG group who are affected by COVID are located in Great Nicobar Island. In Great Nicobar Island, 74 people are speaking a particular language called Jeru. That is to be noted in prelims point of view. Apart from that, in Great Andaman, there are five different tribe people all are coming under PVTG. First one is Jarawas, then Ongos, then Shompans, then North Centralis, and finally the Great Andamanis. These five tribal peoples are coming under PVTGs. They need to be protected under a particular act which is being brought by Ministry of Home Affairs under Ministry of Tribal Affairs to protect those tribal people from any sort of pandemic or any sort of suffering which they are getting suffered. Here, the other things that we need to keep in mind is there are 75 tribal groups which are considered as PVTG that can be asked in the question which was already asked in examination in period stages also. Now we came to an end of this news analysis. Thanks for listening. IAS News Bureau.